Oh, welcome to the Jam. Look, I mean, what are we doing living here? What is happening? Another gigantic snowstorm moving through the area. There's our tri-box cam. We can't send anyone outside right now. You can go to the other stations to show you what. Yeah, exactly. We do things right here.
Yes.
Let's go. This is a live view of our studio technician Brady, who pretty much runs the technical side. We told him to shove a camera out the window so he can show us what it looks like. And it's not good. And Amy, I know the roadways, I mean, even Illinois State Police are chiming in right now with some warnings.
Yeah, they do this when it gets really snowy out. So it gets really bad out on the roads. If you get into a fender bender, just exchange information because they ain't coming to your aid unless there are injuries or major damage. So just keep on moving, folks. Exchange the information. Try to keep yourself in a good mood.
Yes, yeah, just keep on cheering up.
Seriously, this is a time where everybody has to just calm down, take it in strides. We don't know why we live here. We're just here. We're not really sure why we're here, but here we are.
Right. By the way, I've just been letting know that Brady, of course, is our production manager. I think I said studio technician. Brady is the lord of everything and makes everything work around here. So that's really what he is. I just couldn't think of what it was called. But I want to show you guys the
We don't know its official title.
Yeah, no, we have no idea. Let's show the snow totals. And this is contributing to CPS announcing that they are shutting down schools for tomorrow. And because of that, and the reason is, look, Chicago, Cook County, 8 to 14 inches. As you go west, it's going to be a lot less. But these could be more than this. I'm seeing some models in parts of Cook County and Chicago of more than 20 inches of snow. I don't know if we're going to get there, but there are possibilities that we wake up to a little less than 2 feet of snow in certain neighborhoods in Cook County. We'll have to wait and see on that. But that's a lot of snow. So CPS has canceled schools.
They are canceling. It clearly has to be bad. I feel like they haven't really canceled school like that. It's been a really long time because of the weather.
They haven't been in school,
been a long
Felicia.
time.
Yeah,
that part
just
too.
got back to school.
At least a year, right? Around a year. But you know what I mean? I feel like in the 90s, it was canceled all the time. All the time there were snow days, and it just doesn't seem to be happening like that.
When I was a kid in the 90s, we walked uphill back.
Give me about 10 more years to start that. Okay. Also, check this out, you guys. 2020 was the deadliest year on the road since 2007. Almost 1,200 people died in Illinois last year, which is a 16% increase over 2019. Officials think that because of the pandemic, with less people on the streets, that drivers are doing more speeding and just displaying riskier behavior. And from what I've seen, I think that's 100% true. I also feel like it's a little exhilarating to be outside of the house since people aren't out like that, and they might be more likely to speed and more likely to have fun in the car.
I think what's going on outside right now is a perfect example of what happened in the year. Because you know when people forget how to drive over the summer months and when it snows again, all of a sudden they get stupid for a while? I think this has happened as so few of us are driving regularly that every time we get back on the road, we've gotten stupid again. So we just need to practice, take our time, be careful. I know it's fun, but you know.
It's that open pavement. It's the call of the wild on the wide open road.
That's true.
Where I take my rinky-dink 110,000 mile Mazda 4-cylinder and really get it up to 75. I really think that's what it is. People get excited about the open road and they go too fast. Slow down, everyone. Please, come on. There's no reason to not, especially a day like today. Everyone, if you're in the house right now, you're in the house till Friday. That's an edict from John Hanson. You do not have to leave or anything until we dig on out of this stuff.
I wish.
I'm not sure about that, but okay. Yeah, I wish. All right, guys. Hey, the newest season of American Idol got underway this weekend with a somewhat familiar and controversial character on hand. Claudia Conway, former Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway's social media star daughter, performed for the judges.
Let me photograph you in this lighting case. It is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized.
I made it! I'm going to Hollywood! Yes! You're going to Hollywood! Come on! What's wrong with you? We love you so much, sweetheart. We're really proud of you. Love you.
I love you. Mwah.
All right, so
Oh.
2 yeses and a no, and she is staying in Hollywood for now, but many are calling it a publicity stunt on the part of American Idol. I don't know about you, and I hate to critique a young girl singing, but when she started singing, I was a little, ugh.
Okay, so from a person that can't sing, I thought it sounded
Right.
good. Not like the
Yeah.
best I've ever heard in my life, but I thought they should definitely give her a chance to go make it in Hollywood. The other thing is, yes, this is definitely for publicity. I want to know, because clearly there was pre-production when they had to get Kellyanne Conway on the camera and everything. After she finished singing, I want to know, did she have to wait in line like everybody else? That's the true test of equality.
Yeah, I don't know. I know George brought her to the audition, so I don't know if that helped get her to the front of the line. I guess the ultimate question is, on Idol's part, is this a little bit taking advantage of what clearly, well, every teenager's home, up and down. You're always going to have arguments with parents, don't get me wrong. But these were like arguments on a real big stage involving remember the nude photo thing like a week and a half ago?
The leaked picture,
and then,
yeah.
So is it icky to you guys? Amy, is it icky to you as a mom that American Idol is kind of like taking advantage of this?
Well, it does. It feels icky to me also on the part of her parents for letting them go through with this, because they know that she's going to take a big hit on the chin and on social media for everything that's going on again. And that's to put their daughter through that again, I think is rough. At the same time, as a parent, if your kid wants to do something, you want to encourage them to try, right? That's a hard thing to do to audition before these judges. So, it feels icky to me. Now, the photo thing happened well after all this was filmed, so that really kind of can't count.
True.
But it still doesn't, something don't feel right.
But they know what they're doing. The Conway parents, Daddy, Mommy Conway, they know exactly what they're doing. And I mean, they wouldn't have said yes if they, I imagine they wouldn't have said yes if they didn't. So, I mean, that's just par for the core. But you certainly do get that aspect too, Amy. Like you said, you have to push your kid and encourage your kid to do things. Because what if she really makes it? What if she wins American Idol?
Right. Well, I feel like these are like in nature, they're like symbiotic relationships between animals. Like little fish eat like the moles off of big fish. What am I talking about? What I'm trying to say is that they're both benefiting from a gross situation, right? Like American Idol gets extra little publicity because of this, and so do the Conway, so does Claudia. She's got a big social media following. She'll use this as a springboard because she ain't gonna win. She's going to use this as a springboard for something else. So it's icky for the rest of us, but I can see why both sides are doing it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you know she's not going to win? Doesn't America vote?
Did you hear Clarkson when she auditioned? I mean, she was good at and undertrained, so I think it's a little different.
I actually thought Claudia sounded fine. Everyone else in our chat right now is saying that it sounded like fingernails on a chalkboard. It wasn't that bad. You haven't seen Amy sing karaoke, so
I can't sing, but I'm also not going to audition for American Idol. I'm too old.
Now that I would watch. Okay, so Generation Z, a generation that does TikTok videos about eat the rich from their $1,300 smartphones, says that certain things aren't cool anymore. So now we have to figure out if we care. Generation Z deems that hallmarks of millennial culture are not cool. So skinny jeans. So Generation Z says you should set them on fire, which I like skinny jeans. I think we talked about the skinny jean thing.
Yes.
Side parts. So apparently Gen Z says middle part or bust. This is beginning to sound like just the 90s is what's happening here. Yeah, a side part
Very
is fine.
90s.
I don't part it, but like it is pretty much
Amy.
parted here. I'm
going for the middle today, guys.
Yeah, you look good, girl, doing it. But I was a kid. I had a bowl cut because my parents literally put a bowl on my head and shave us because there was 3 of us, and like parted down the middle. It is a horrible hairstyle. I cannot believe they're trying to bring this back.
See,
Apparently
that's what we
they
should not go back to.
Yeah.
That's a Kardashian thing, though. The middle part, the Kardashians do that all the time. So that's why the Gen Zers think it's cool, right? Because they all love the Kardashians,
I'm not
too.
giving the Kardashians that much credit. For middle parts, no.
Just saying where they get the,
Apparently the laughing, crying emoji is canceled. Like it's so off. I don't get the problem. I read this like 3 times. I don't get what they're saying.
I literally texted my niece today to ask her, I don't get this. What's the big deal? She didn't know what they were talking about
Amy,
either.
you're Gen X. We're millennials. Here's the issue. We didn't tell them to sit down and shut up like all the other generations did. And now millennials are stuck in the middle. They're not liked by anyone older and they're not liked by anyone younger. We got the short end of the stick on the both ones. We got to be meaner and we got to tell them we don't care what they're talking about. Sit down and be quiet.
Yeah. My generation,
Okay.
I'm Gen Xer.
More bullying.
And we like to tell the
That's what we
millennials
need.
to, yeah.
Yeah, you do, Amy. You do that to us
Yeah.
personally, which is great too. Gen Z apparently also uses the skull emoji instead of typing LOL. Like, I've seen the skull emoji. I've used the skull emoji for like, oh my God, I'm dead. That was so funny. But I still write LOL, which is fine too.
Yeah, I can't.
And
I
then,
stopped
because-
using. I stopped using thumbs up for a while because I found out in some languages that does not mean what we think it means.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
I'm
Can
not
you tell
allowed
me,
to
or are
say
you
on
going to text
TV.
it to me?
I'll text you later.
A thumbs up means something dirty? Oh my God, I can't wait to find out.
We'll
Okay.
talk.
All right. Well,
Cannot
either way, Gen Z, we love you. Like, thank you for watching our show. We really appreciate it. But like, get a life.
Oh, all right. And on that note,
Mind your business.
coming up, Brandon's going to join us. Chance to shoot his shot.
Bruh,
Oh yeah.
how does that happen? How do I get your job? That's a pretty awesome gig, right?
There's a long line, Brandon. There's a long line of people ready for me to keel over and call it quits.
Yeah. BP joins us with the latest on the most dramatic Bachelor breakup yet.
Alicia Lawrence, you want to go for a hike, girl?
Okay, John, since you asked.
I know, but like, there's no great spots in the city to really experience nature. But guess what? We got an answer for folks. We're going down to LaSalle County, Starved Rock, gorgeous in the summer, gorgeous in the winter. Kathy Casstevens joining us now to talk all about it. And I see a water. Oh, you got things. You got a waterfall behind you.
We love a good prop.
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh,
We're ready for a hike.
Good. It's the perfect time of year.
I know you say that, and a lot of people might roll their eyes because we're in a little bit of, a cold snap here. But with that comes beauty, right?
Yes, and challenges. You just have to have the right gear and the right clothes, but most importantly, the right attitude.
Okay,
And then you
so
can
I
hike.
got the right attitude. I got the right attitude, but let's really dive in here because no shocker here. I'm not the most outdoorsy person. So it's also another thing to be doing it in some of these colder temperatures. But you're saying now is a beautiful time to do it. So help get us ready. What are some things I need? Because I'm going on this hike with John. What are some things that I need
Okay,
to
well,
prepare myself?
first, I strongly encourage you to try it. The best gift you can get yourself, Yak Track Pros. And the reason why I suggest Yak Track Pros, I have a pair of boots here somewhere, but here I can show you, is because the strap goes over the top of your boot and then it prevents the Yak Track from popping off. But these are coils that cut into the ice and snow and reduce the fatigue and prevent you from slipping on the ice and snow. So we sell these in our gift shop, but you can also get them online. These are called Yak Track Pros. There's another tool called Katulas that are spikes, and those actually cut into the ice. So if you're not an avid hiker, I don't suggest using something that advanced. Then the next thing that you should have are these things called trekking poles. These are adjustable. So if you're short like I am, you can make them short. The best part is the bottom of this comes off, and it is a pick that can cut into the ice and help you to have stability when you're hiking on ice and snow and unstable ground, frozen creeks and things like that. So those are two must-haves along with your gear, like your hat, your gloves. Again, Bernie Sanders has it right. Mittens work better in cold weather than gloves because your fingers can be together, but gloves are fine too. And then a hat, dressing in layers, because when you start hiking, you're going to want to peel it off because you're going to get hot. So then you do want to carry a backpack to put your clothes in as you get warm and you take them off, but then when you get cold, put them back on. Another great important thing year round. Yes?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, water. You may not think you need it because it's cold outside, but you really don't want to eat snow. So you should bring 1 bottle of water for every hour that you're hiking. That's my rule of thumb year round, and more if it's hot. But snacks. I don't care how old you are. You need a snack every hour, no matter how old you are. And it does something mentally for you. Like I would need a snack every hour. And then
okay, I got a question. I got a question for you. Yeah, the body warmers, keep it warm, all that. But what if I am someone that doesn't know where I'm going, what I'm doing? I know the visitor center will help me out, but you also have guided tours too, right?
We do. They depart every Saturday and Sunday from the lodge here. You can register online or call our activities department. And I strongly encourage you to go with a guide because they know their way around, obviously. And let's say you go to Wildcat Canyon, there's 2 overlooks there. And they'll show you how to go and look at the whole frozen waterfall from an overlook. And then you can hike down in and look up at it. And not only that, they're just really knowledgeable. One of our guides is a retired geology teacher. So he's witty and very intelligent about the geological structure here at Starved Rock.
Really cool. And just before we go, we want to get this in. There's also a package that you guys are showing some love to frontline workers.
Yes. We thank everybody who's on the front line, regardless of where you work. So we have an overnight package that includes a bottle of Starved Rock bubbly and 2 glasses, so you can toast to your achievement of surviving through the pandemic and have a relaxing overnight stay. Pack your swimsuit because we have an indoor pool and indoor dining. You'll get a voucher for dinner with that.
And there is nothing better than enjoying the outdoors. I know it's cold and snowy, but when you take all the things into account that you said, you can really make a great day of it. It's not that far at all for many of us here in the city and suburbs. Kathy, I can't wait to visit. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Let's
Kathy.
get information up on the screen where you can find out more about everything that they do. And again, they got checklists there for you. They got everything you need to plan your trip to Starved Rock. And as we look at what we're going to be seeing here in the future cast, you can see that they're going to get an extra snowpack layer in LaSalle County with snow bands moving through the area. And you see by noon tomorrow, it's just lake effect snow. As we zoom in and again, widespread snow, really heavy overnight, lake effect, extremely heavy till about 9 o'clock tomorrow. When is this going to melt? I don't know. Not anytime soon as we look at the 3-day forecast brought to you by 3-Day Blinds. You'll love the treatment. And we could have some more snow on Thursday. I promise by the weekend we'll have better news. I'll tell you about that in the 7-day forecast. Amy.
All right, still ahead, we are chatting with the director behind a powerful new documentary celebrating the indomitable spirit of Chicago's Black transgender icon. That's coming up at 6:30. First, here's another live look at South State Street. We're back in 90 seconds.
Uh-oh, here we go. Ooh.
Oh.
Where's that habit?
Go ahead, John.
Okay. No, I still do every now and then. You'll see me. I like play with my beard. I know this is really gross, but if I'm really stressed out, I'll just start kind of like plucking at it and picking at it a little bit, and it's disgusting. I need to stop doing that.
Okay, so I'm always working to look at, so with these Zoom meetings, I'll go be, okay, well, I got 3 minutes before the meeting. That's a whole bunch of time. I could do a lot in 3 minutes.
Oh.
My goodness, no need to jump on now. And then 5 minutes later, here I am 2 minutes late for the for the Zoom meeting.
Mine is similar to John's. When I'm stressed or when I'm thinking about something, I chew on the side of my face. I started doing it as soon as the question came up. I'm like,
How does it taste?
I don't know. It's just a habit. And sometimes I don't notice why I'm doing it. And my husband will be like, why are you making this face like this? I'm like, I can't reach my cheek if I don't make my face funny.
Maybe I'll
Just
start chewing my
stress
face. Yeah. It'll stop me from eating so much.
That's it.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, you're full of your own dead skin. Yum.
We'll be back after this. Another look outside as we had to break. Oh, the Kennedy looks like fun.
At least nobody picks their nose here.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you heard, but the host of The Bachelor, Chris Harrison, announced over the weekend that he'd be stepping aside for some time. Noted Jam Bachelor Brandon Pope and Bachelor show expert has the backstory on what went down. Pope, fill us in.
All right, man. Yeah, it's been quite a dramatic few days, to say the least, for The Bachelor. It's nothing new for the franchise, but this is a different type of drama here. So a few weeks ago, people found photos of frontrunner Rachel Kirkconnell at an Old South antebellum party. It was a frat party back in 2018. She's also been accused of liking photos that feature the Confederate flag on social media. Now, keep in mind, this is the first season of The Bachelor where we've had a black bachelor. His name is Matt James. So during an interview with former contestant Rachel Lindsay, this is what Chris Harrison had to say about the controversy.
You know, I saw a picture of her at a sorority party 5 years ago, and that's it.
The picture was
Three-quarters
from 2018 at an Old South antebellum party. So I think, you know, when you
hold that under the lens.
Look. It's not a good look.
No, it's not a good. Well, Rachel, is it a good look in 2018 or is it not a good look in 2021?
It's
Because
not
there's a big
good
difference.
look ever, because she's celebrating
Well-
the Old South. If I went to that party, what would I represent at that party?
Woo! Well, he went on to claim that 50 million people went to antebellum parties in 2018, some made up stats there. He mocked the woke police and said that no group out there really knows what racism is. He apologized on Wednesday and again on Saturday when he announced he'd be stepping aside. He's not going to appear on the After the Rose special, but it's not clear exactly when he's going to be back as host. I am personally hoping that, hey, maybe there's a spot in there for someone to slide in. But either way, this is a bad look. He made it clear he's from Texas. I mean, we kind of always had our suspicions, but this right here was a bad look overall for the franchise that struggles with race already.
Well, I think that the biggest issue is that he wasn't open to listening or learning, or the possibility that maybe I could be missing a bigger picture here. That's the main thing. I wanted him to be like, you know what, maybe we need to have more conversation about that. That's what I wanted at the least. Didn't get that. And clearly he's ready to wash his hands of the whole situation. Bye.
Right, like I'm willing to learn something about it. Tell me a little bit more. Let's have a conversation, as opposed to I'll defend her. All right, good talk, Brandon. You should be the host of that show one day. It is snowing. I'm just saying a bunch of random things in a row to the commercial.
Okay, everybody, we're going to warm you up on this snowy, cold Monday as best we can.
Are we? Just virtually.
We're going to try. We'll try.
Yeah.
We'll give it our best shot. Yeah, it is a real mess out there right now. Just kind of a disaster of a snowstorm. That's the Kennedy Expressway from the Whirly Ball Cam. I mean, traffic volume's pretty low, right? Like at 6:30, but like even showing travel times well over an hour both directions. Luckily, you're at home watching it in the comfort of your own home right now. The radar shows, it's not the most impressive thing, but like where you see that like lighter blue, that's like some pretty heavy snow bands of lake effect snow, bringing upwards of maybe 2.5, 3 inches of snow an hour when it's really planted over your house. That's pretty extreme. The rest of the area probably about an inch rate of snowfall for the next few hours. And that's going to total up to about, I don't know, 4 to 8 inches out in the suburbs. Anywhere in Cook County could get 8 to 14, Northwest Indiana too. Localized spots could be over 15, 20 inches. I've seen some models. Don't expect that everywhere. The gradient doesn't show really great what happens when you get to DeKalb, but it lowers to about 2 to 5 inches, maybe even less by the time you get to Rockford. But it's a messy situation. So I don't know. Just let your car be buried and don't move for a long time. That's my take.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
perfect.
good idea. Yeah. Hey, let's start off with a really cool story, you guys. A white mom in Michigan is using a daily game of dress up and teach her biracial daughter about Black history. It's the third year Taylor Trotter has dressed Paisley up as Black trailblazers. Every year, she posts a side-by-side on Facebook with a caption about their contribution to history. Trotter was inspired by a child psychology class where she learned about the struggles biracial children often have identifying with any particular group. She's dressed up as Serena Williams, Kamala Harris, Jackie Robinson, Ida B. Wells, and Amanda Gorman, as well as several Black men, women, and children who were killed by police. The pictures are really cool. I did think when I saw this, though, when we're talking about these people who lost their lives at the hand of police brutality, wow, what a conversation to have a fight with a 5-year-old. That's got to be pretty tough. And I wonder how she did that, because I have not done that with mine yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a conversation that a lot of parents of Black children end up having to have, and it usually ends up happening way earlier than I think you want it to. When I immediately think of Tamir Rice, which is the 12-year-old that was shot and killed, for playing with a toy gun in a public park. So it's like you have to have these conversations early. You don't really have the luxury not to. But kudos to this mom for realizing that, she had a mixed child, which the world sees, as a Black child. And so she's doing something really creatively there and sharing it with the rest of the world, which is really cool too.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you guys are saying. I think it is really cool. It's inspiring. Is there any part of you that's a little weirded out by it? That's just me. Like, it's like so
weirded out
many
how?
outfits. It's so many. Like, I went through the Facebook page and it's a lot. Like, I think it's really cool. No, and
3 years though.
I don't know. You're right. It spread it over time. I swear, I always end up being this person that's like, that's strange, that's weird, and maybe just my guard is like that. I think it's really cool. Like, I do want to applaud this woman for like reaching through psychology books to see like what might be effective parenting. And I certainly am not a parent, so I shouldn't even judge. It seems like they're doing it for all the right reasons. I hope that's the case and not for internet and other love that might be happening.
Yeah, well, to Felicia's point, like when I saw, because she's 5, and so when I saw, the men and women who've been killed by police officers, I wondered how that discussion went, because I'm like, 5 seems awfully young. Like Henry, we've had the discussion with, but he's 10. Now, the twins are almost 4. I can't wrap my head around having this conversation with a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, they've been doing it for a number of years, so that's the only thing I was like, huh. But, as Felicia said, families have to do that a little bit earlier than what I may be thinking of.
Yeah.
I guess I should just give the benefit of the doubt a little more.
Right.
Yeah.
The only time I entered a closet was to get me a outfit and a pair of pumps. My mother and my grandmother were supportive of me. And they didn't want me to look like a overly done drag queen. Walk proud, because I'm going to let you know I am somebody.
She is for sure. That is Mama Gloria, Gloria Allen, a living legend in Chicago, in her 70s, a transgender woman. And that Two things don't often come together: still living at the age of 70 and transgender. And it's an amazing film, and it was a labor of love for Luchina Fisher, who's joining us now. And we chatted a couple years ago when you were crowdsourcing this. It must fill you with such relief, pride, excitement that people are going to be able to watch this.
Oh my God, all of the above. Yeah, you're right. It's not often that you start something this big and then it actually comes to fruition. It really is. I would say driven by Gloria, of course. She is the heart and soul of this project, and she was so determined to get her story out there. And I knew when you're 75, you don't have much time to waste. I mean, she had her struggles. She certainly dealt with traumatic violence, like so many Black transgender women do. And she overcame that.
As we celebrate Black History Month, I think everyone needs to continue to remind every family, Black, white, doesn't matter, the importance of a support network for your children.
It's critical. I mean, I believe that love that Gloria got from her mother, her grandmother, her great aunt, from the very beginning is what has carried her through her life. It's a counter narrative to what we often hear about the Black community, perhaps being less accepting or less supportive. Queer history is Black history, and Black history is queer history. If not for the LGBTQ folks within the Black community, many of the advances that we have today in the social justice movements would not be the same.
I know this story touches you personally too. Your daughter, transgender. What was that like making this film while also you and your daughter going on this journey together at the same time?
When I came to Chicago, first to meet Gloria, Gia was with me, and Gloria spent the day with the two of us. And it was then that, she came up to me and said, "Mom, this is so inspiring." And I knew that Gloria has this power to speak to multiple generations.
We have a message from someone actually for you.
Luchina, I am so happy and so proud that you took on this project, and you have become my baby sister. I'm so happy that we met. Your daughter is so amazing. Mothers should be coming out like you have, and I'm so proud of you. I love you to no end.
Oh, that's making me kind of tear up a little bit. I imagine means something to you too.
It means a lot. Oh my goodness. From the moment I met Mama Gloria, it was love at first sight. I mean, just the connection goes so deep.
The movie is great. I've taken a look at it, and everyone can too. MamaGloriaFilm.com to see where it's going to be playing. It will be playing in some pretty big spots in the coming months. And Luchina Fisher, who is excellent at what she does, former journalist, now a documentarian. You can follow her on social media to see that important story. Amy.
Well,
I was going to give a shout out to our Black History Month sponsor. Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's
Beam
okay.
Legal Team and Foreman Mills for all their help and what they've been doing to help us get this coverage on the air.
Yeah. We're still a little more than $2,000 away from hitting our $15,000 goal. To help CW26, the U, Me, TV, FM, and Beam Legal donate meals to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, text CW26 to 41444 or go to CW26chicago.com to make a donation. Together, we can reach $15,000 to feed Chicago. We'll be right back.
All right, Brandon Pope here, stepping in for Felicia, who apparently has some AOL dial-up internet. Here's the news you need to know. Congress says it's going to establish an independent commission to investigate and report back on what took place on the day of the insurrection at the Capitol. It'll also review the Capitol security process. Churches are changing it up this Ash Wednesday due to the coronavirus. Instead of applying ashes by hand to people's foreheads, officials are going to instead either sprinkle the ash or use a cotton swab to do so. And Chicago city-operated COVID testing sites are going to be closed tomorrow due to the inclement weather. Amy.
Yeah, we want to get back to our Bachelor conversation. You know, Chris Harrison stepped down over the weekend after some comments he made during an interview on Extra about one of the current women on the show and some pictures she had posted from a fraternity party she went to in 2018 at an antebellum themed party on a southern plantation. Here's what I thought was probably the most cringeworthy part of the beginning of the interview is when he said, you know, this was 2018. Is it okay because it was 2018, but in 2021 it wouldn't be okay? Like that we've gotten so much more woke in those 3 years. And then went on to say, we don't play the same games on the play yard in the 1970s when I was a kid that we play today because some of them weren't appropriate. So I think the disconnect there, I was a little shocked by. I'm like, 2018 was only 3 years ago, not 20 years ago, not 1993. Like then maybe I would have been like, okay, things were a little different in the early 90s, not 3 years ago. And how do you compare that to when you were an 8-year-old kid to a decision a grown woman made as an adult?
Yeah, right. Like I'm all about forgiveness and like learning from people's mistakes in the past. Anytime we have like a tweet that's like 10 years old from a kid who's 15 and he said a bad word and it's on the internet, I'm like, well, maybe we should err on the side of forgiveness and moving on. But yeah, it was just really weird. Like if he's able to recognize the wokeness, you think he'd be able to recognize the stupidity that was kind of coming out of his mouth in that moment. I hope that his own, mouth or his own like antenna was like flaring like, hey, I should probably shut up at some point. But I don't know.
Yeah, he was definitely too comfortable. That's for sure. He let it fly. But I think the bigger problem is Chris Harrison is not the only person who thinks this way. This is a constant mindset that, oh, yeah, people are just in their feelings. They love being offended. They're so upset. When in reality, yeah, this is a problem. And I'm so thankful that Rachel, the first Black Bachelorette, was the one doing the interview and was able to press him a little bit. I'm not sure it would have gone the way it did if she wasn't actually challenging him and saying, well, 2018, it wasn't okay either. Like, this has never been okay, because she even said during this interview, she was like, if I went to that party, Chris, what would be my role?
Right.
And it's like, well, obviously it'd be the slave, right? Like that means it's not a good idea to have this type of party or to be a part of that. So it's a bigger society issue, but this franchise has been dealing with race issues for a while before this. And now it's really, really, really flared up to a point they have to address it.
I will say to John's earlier point, the one thing I did agree with Chris Harrison to a smaller degree is the issue of grace. And I think John's right when we're talking about somebody who's did something 10 years ago. Can we have a little more grace? Yes. And actually, I think some people would have more grace with this girl if she'd actually address it. But it's been 6 weeks and nobody's heard a peep from her. So nobody really knows. I mean, all this stuff is being dug up about her parents and other things that she did. And she's not defending herself. She's not saying I'm wrong. She's not saying anything. And that, I think, is the problem. Like maybe she'd get a little grace if she'd speak out.
Yeah, I think Chris deserves some grace as well, right? I mean, this is I think something he can recover from. He seems like from the statement, he genuinely wants to do better. So if that's the case, let's give him the chance.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like it wasn't a good look. I mean, you could even tell when he was saying it, he was really tap dancing through that, which is never good to do. Boy, I've done enough tap dancing here in my day, but it's tough. I think at the end of the day, these are really tough conversations to have. Right. And there's also like the culture you grow up in and you're told that this is okay, referring to what she's doing. And this is what everyone's doing. This is what all my friends are doing. It's not like an excuse, but at least you can start to understand someone's mindset. However, like you said, Amy, when you are kind of put on blast about it, that's the point to like open a book or like have a conversation with someone else and figure it out and say, oh, my God, I was wrong. That was dumb.
Right.
I'm sorry.
That was horrible.
And we're such a forgiving country that I think that it'd be way more survivable if she did that.
And our producers are saying she did put out an apology over the weekend on Instagram. I did miss that, so I'm not 100% sure what she said. But it's also not until after Chris Harrison stepped down, too. I mean, there have been ample time for this to come out, not right now, you know? So.
Yeah. For sure.
I did read the apology. It did seem sincere. Like it was
okay. That's good.
Producers helped. They did a great job. They did the job because it seemed like a really good apology. It acknowledged, like, I'm sure you're tired of seeing apologies like this. I'm sure this is a cycle you're probably frustrated by. And I was like, okay, that's
all
a
right.
step.
yeah, that's good. Hopefully she believes it for sure. All righty, let us look at the forecast here today. There's a live look at the South Loop, State Street looking south. Not many cars on the road. That is certainly good news because it is a real mess out there. When are we going to get this snow to melt? Well, here's a 7-day forecast brought to you by 3-Day Blinds. You'll love the treatment. And look at the thaw. It finally comes Saturday into Sunday. And then Monday into the mid-30s, and we'll finally start to melt it. How much snow will we have on the ground by then? Like maybe 19 feet, but so it'll be slowly but surely, Amy. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Hey, the Jam would like to give you a chance to win free oil changes for a year at any participating Chicagoland Jiffy Lube location. Simply enter now on our WCIU sweepstakes page now through Sunday, February 21st. Good luck. All right. Drag queens, pop stars, and NFL smear campaigns. We get a preview of what to expect on Tamron Hall this week, coming up after the break. All right, we are joined again by friend of the show, Miss Tamron Hall, who has a great week ahead. Wow, you have some phenomenal guests coming up.
Amy, let me tell you, this is one of those weeks I think that my producers, we look at the schedule and we say, are you kidding me? Is this really happening? Compelling conversation starting out Monday. Cordell Stewart, remember him? He's the former NFL star who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cordell, since 1998, has lived with this rumor that people in the business knew, that folks in the NFL knew. The rumor was that he had been arrested while a player in Pittsburgh for a lewd act where he was arrested with another man. Cordell, for the first time, is writing about that and speaking about how this rumor and this smear hovered over his career and even his life after football. It is unbelievable. It's compelling. And I think for the first time, he feels comfortable talking about it.
Yeah, and you're getting a lot of people who are kind of coming to you to clear the air, if you will. Sherry Pie coming on the show from RuPaul's Drag Race, because there are a lot of questions around the exit of the show.
Right, you know, hugely popular on RuPaul Drag Race. Fun fact, one of my favorite shows. And Sherry Pie made headlines when the character ended up just disappearing from the show. Sherry Pie's real name is Joey, and Joey is coming on to talk about what happened, why he was booted from the show. and the ramifications of the allegations that he catfished people online. And then on Wednesday, I don't know if you've seen this New York Times documentary. It's The Framing of Britney Spears.
Wow, yeah.
Have you seen it? It's unbelievable. We have a lot of the fans who built the Free Britney movement, the fans that you see in that documentary. They will join us to talk about why they always believe something was wrong, why they're speaking out now, and why after all of these years, this documentary is causing us to pause and say, why did we accept Britney Spears being treated the way she was, a young girl, by some in the media, by the paparazzi? We have the women who started the podcast that really drew a lot of attention to this legal battle for the freedom, if you will, of Britney Spears. So it's a compelling conversation. And listen, I was in the business 1997. I remember all of the coverage, I'm sure you do too, of Britney Spears. And we're digging into this documentary that everyone is talking about it. The person who created the documentary, the podcasters, and the Britney fans who are behind it all join us to talk about it.
Make sure to catch Tamron Hall weekdays at 10 a.m. on CW26 and again at 8 p.m. on The U. We'll be right back. All right, time for a little deep dish. Gotta tell you about this one. What a wife got her husband for Valentine's Day. It is a collage of some beautiful pictures. Pictures from Instagram of other women that he, in fact, liked on Instagram. So, kind of makes you wonder. Is that headed for a breakup, do you think? What other signs do you see as we head to breakups?
Listen, I don't know why ladies are like this. A like on Instagram is a very innocent thing, okay? It just means, hey, nice photo, or hey, hope you're doing well, checking in.
Did you see
whatever.
the pictures, Brandon?
It may not even mean that. It may not even mean that. It could mean just a nice little it's a reflex, you know? Doesn't mean he's gonna
I'm
cheat
looking
or
at the
anything.
pictures. Yeah, this could be, first and foremost, I want to say they all reacted to this really well. Like, she thought it was funny. She thinks it's funny. Maybe this is a really safe relationship where they know where each other stands. She's okay with it, or she likes to poke fun at the fact that he likes these posts, but whatever.
John.
I'm with Brandon. No, I'm with Brandon on this one. Like, what's a like? Who cares? Yeah. There's a lot of attractive people out there.
While my internet is working. Let me get in here while the internet works.
1 minute.
You're not going to just single women out for doing something like that, because men can have a jealous side too, okay? Because I don't care who he likes. Now, I will say I do hear a lot of challenges going off in his phone, and the music is he keeps scrolling through. But I don't care like whatever you like. Silhouette challenges.
But here's what I don't get. Okay, you can ogle all the other girls you want to on Instagram, fine, but taking the time to actually like them, and that fact that you can go back and find those just seems stupid, right? Like, go ahead and look at them, but why do you have to actually hit the like button?
Well, when you say take the time to like, here it is. I mean, that wasn't that much. Yeah.
But you
like,
mean the girl,
I just-
how the girl went and took the time to find them all? You mean
No,
that's
no, no, no.
silly.
I mean him like, why is he sitting there going like, I like, me like it. Like that just seems stupid and weird.
Let the man and woman, if she wants to like a bunch of 6-pack or 8-packs too, dream a little bit. Have a fantasy of like, oh, like
Listen,
that. Like, why not? As long as
I
not doing
sure
anything.
will. I sure will. Double
Just
tap.
because you've already ordered doesn't mean you can't look at the menu. I agree. But I think it's kind of a slap in the woman's face to be liking all these other women. Go ahead, look. Don't care if you look. But
I can see
the
that.
show of liking is kind of creepy.
What if you're friends
Yeah.
with this woman and you just want to support her Instagram algorithm?
That's
Her
even
dreams
worse.
and dreams?
I'm
That's
supporting
even
her
worse.
algorithm. That's all I'm trying to do.
Because you
We'll
actually
see
know
tomorrow.
her.
Stay safe.